Hey guys, it's Julia. Just wanted to update you on week 2 completed. So yay! Finally had a lot of tests this week. A lot of stuff happening. It was very busy, and sorry for the glare in my glasses. These are not very non-glary. Yeah, so I just want to update you on how I'm doing and just give you a little summary on week 2 on what I did and what to expect. Um, if I might not be very descriptive in some areas because I can't give out like specific information to um, the airline I'm working with. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble. So I'm gonna grab my little binder here. It has my schedule, so help me remember what I did. Alright, so on Monday, I know I uploaded my video on Sunday, but on Monday I had my 4 phases of flight exam, which, talks about 4 phases of flight, what do you do when you check in, how much time do you have to have before you check in for your flight, how much time do you, when do you board customers on the plane, how much time do you have to do that, what do you talk to the gate agent about before you board the plane, like, what information you have to give to her, of course, the people sitting in the exit row seats, what you give them their briefing before the door can be closed, luggage must be stowed, overhead bins must be closed before we can take off, and then we can go ahead with our safety demo, which of course, it's different for every airline, which, buckle your seatbelts, oxygen mask and stuff, and it tells the safety instructions for the plane. Door arming and disarming, how to disarm and arm and disarm the door, and the procedures for that. Where you should be sitting when the plane is taking off. Of course, you have to be sitting in your jump seat. What duties you have as your position as a flight attendant. Like there's FA1, which is flight attendant for short, which is FA, or FA2 or you FA4, and refer to your manual to see what duties you have as a flight attendant. So I did really well on that. So far so good. Then after that, on Monday, we talked about general emergency procedures, what happens in an emergency step by step, like we have planned emergencies and unplanned emergencies. Showing customers where their life vest is and stuff like that. And then we learned about a particular aircraft and where the emergency equipment was located in the aircraft. We also learned more about the O2 systems, which is like the little masks that fall down, how it runs, how you can tell if the oxygen runs out, how to put it on yourself and others around you. If the compartment accidentally falls out, what to do if it does that. We also talked about operation of exits, so each door and how we to arm and disarm them is different, especially each aircraft is different, and also the position the door is on the plane is different, so we learned how to do that, which was really fun actually. Then we learned about decompression, what the types of decompression, how it has slow, rapid, and explosive, and how long you have depending on the decompression to make a rational decision and stuff like that. What to do in an event of a decompression, and how to prepare your passengers and if one were to happen. Then we also talked about unplanned emergency procedures. So that's basically, unplanned emergency procedures is basically when an emergency happens without warning, and you have to automatically, start your commands have the customer brace, for landing. And depending on what happens when you land is you have to assess the situations and see what exits you can use to get out, basically like that. Then on Tuesday we had uniform fittings, which is awesome. So I got to try on I got to see what my uniforms look like, and see what size I needed, which was pretty cool. Then I had them take my ID for my crew photo, which was cool also. And then I also had an image appointment, which basically the image appointment is you meet up with the image team and they tell you, how you look if you're in regulations, and what you need to do to fix it if you're out of regulations. I was pretty on point. I had my hair up in a bun. It's a way nicer bun than this. I'm just messy today, so or you can how your hair can't be a certain length, and if it is a certain length, it has to be up in a bun. Makeup, required is lipstick and blush. Is the two things that are required for the airline I work for. And also fingernails, short. If it's a nail polish, it can't be chipped. If it's natural tone, you have to at least have clear nail polish on your fingers, which I have shiny nail polish on there, and they're trimmed. And you also can't have, for us, you can't have more than 3 rings on one hand. And then, when I went in, I got a lot of good compliments. I wore red lipstick, and it showed off pretty well. Red lipstick looks good on everybody, so I suggest if you had to pick a color, go with red. What else? They also talked about how your skin was, what do you need to do for your skincare? Do you have dry face and oily face and stuff like that? And then they'll give you some recommendations. They also help you with hairstyles if you wanted to put your hair in a certain way, or if you had questions about how to do something better, they can definitely help you out. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then after that, or before I did all that, I did my safety demo, which is, buckle your seatbelts. When they start the safety demo, you show the buckling your seatbelts, and then tighten it to, pull the strap to tighten, and then, do that whole thing. I had to be evaluated, and then, we just needed to. They would just critique us, our PA demo, and how good we did, and how good our voice and precise voice we sounded on the PA system. Then we learned about first aid. What's in our first aid kits. Every first aid kit in every airline is different. So we learned what's in our first aid kits. We learned different other items that we have on the airplane, and we also learned what the specific thing in each one can do to help us, or what situation can help. It can help. It also taught us about illnesses on planes. Like if someone got air sickness, what would you do? It told us remedies we could do, because we are told not to diagnose them. We only can treat the symptoms. Sorry. So that was pretty cool. And then we had the first aid workshop, which was pretty funny, where we would pick a card out of the bowl, and then we had a certain situation, and then we had to treat the symptoms based on the symptoms on the card and get it right. So I thought that was fun. And Wednesday had my first aid exam, which I passed. Yay! And then we had water landing procedures. Basically, it talks about what we should do and how we should evacuate when a plane lands on water. Especially since you have 2 types of planes, either your plane is water equipped or it's a non-water equipped plane. So, there's different procedures for each type of plane. Then we had to do a value of a customer. Basically, it's like a customer service class, how we should treat customers on the plane, and recognize, platinum members or whatever members we have, priority access or stuff like that. Then we got to, what else is that? Operation of exits. Oh, we got to do emergency equipment, which was where we had to memorize where on the plane was the emergency equipment stored, and we had to do it from memory. Then we did ticket and information, you know, how to operate, you know, what to look for on a ticket, and, you know, also how to put it through the machine. What else? We did, that was the end for Wednesday. Then Thursday, we did planned emergency procedures. So basically, a planned emergency is when a captain calls the first flight attendant, which always works like in the front or something, and basically tells them of the situation problem that we're having, and that they give us a certain amount of time to prepare the cabin for an emergency landing. So we have time, we have to prepare for the cabin for landing, and then, you know, use those procedures and, you know, refer to our manual on what those procedures are and practice them. What else? Then we did drills and practice. Basically, we practice our commands on, you know, what to say when we're evacuating the plane at different exits, which was cool because I actually got to go on one of the simulators for the first time. It was pretty cool, you know, actually getting to sit in the jump seat and then, you know, actually evacuating or start, you know, pretend to evacuate a person, which was pretty cool. Then at the end of that, on Friday, I had an exam on one of my aircrafts that I have to learn. So it's like an overall exam, you know, what I need to know about that aircraft and where the different stuff is on the aircraft, and what if an emergency happens, what I should do in an emergency on that aircraft. Then we had, after that, I got my observation trip prep. So I get to go on an observation trip where I get to watch other flight attendants and, you know, check off stuff on my checklist to make sure they did that on the list. And today's actually Saturday that I'm doing this video, and tomorrow I'm going to be going on my observation trip, so that's why I chose today to do the video. Then after we talked about that trip, we went into intro to flight service, in-flight service. So basically, depending on the trip and how long it takes to get there, what kind of service we're going to have. Is it a service we're going to prepare a meal, or is it a service where we're just going to give a beverage and that's it? So that's what we learned about that. And then we got week 2 closed. So we basically, they passed out papers to start for next week 3. Week 3 was supposed to be hectic, and we were supposed to be waking up really early next week, but you know, things changed. So now we'll have like an average schedule and won't be waking up as early. What else was I gonna say? Oh, and I have a test on Monday, basically of the commands I learned to evacuate in an unplanned emergency. I have to learn the commands. Well, I already know the commands. I just have to perform the commands, and I have to do it perfectly to pass. So I have to do 3 different exits. So I have to perform commands for 3 different exits. And so I'm definitely going to be practicing that. I did pretty good in my drills. There's a couple things I forgot. But unfortunately, since I can't tell you what the commands are because I can get in trouble, so, you know, don't worry too much about learning the commands before you come in. You'll be fine. You'll get it They pass out, papers. You can learn the commands well before you even do the drill, like practice drill. So you'll be fine in that. And that's pretty much all I mainly did for the week. If I have any tips as to passing the tests, make sure you study with a group. Find a group of people, make sure it's not too big. Study with them. If you're the type of person who leads, like, you're the type of person that likes to make or lead the group in a study group, then tell them you'll lead the group and you'll just lead the group in a study exam, and you can help, having more people and different way that different people think can help you study too. Because, I wasn't the type of person to lead a study group, but I joined a study group, and it was really helpful because we went through step by step, what we needed to know, and, we also helped that person, helping her to help her memorize stuff too as well. So it's all group effort. If you see someone struggling, try to help them, because that one day it's going to come to you where you're struggling and you need help. Then if you show that you're very nice to someone else, they're going to definitely come and help you. Everybody's been so nice so far, so don't worry about learning so much information. You're going to think it's a lot of information, but once you have that, like, you're going to have a test, focus the next day, and then you have a test, like, in a couple of days. Don't worry about that test in a couple of days. Focus on the test that's going to happen tomorrow and study for that test, one day at a time. As far as other things you should have brought with you, maybe. I'm trying to think of things I should have brought. I finally used my mini iron that I brought, because the iron that was in the hotel wasn't really working that well, so I'm glad I brought a mini iron. I still haven't got any, besides, I want to recognize Choco Girl, or Cat Girl, or I forgot the name off the top of my head, but, I'm glad my answers have been helping you with your questions. If you have any questions, and just let me know again. If you want to comment below. If you want to make another video, or a specific video, about certain questions, or a certain thing you want me to do on how I look, or haven't got any requests on, what is good for, like, hair, or I can show you natural looking things I wear for makeup that is good to wear to class and stuff like that. I know I already showed you my heels in the first video I did, but if you want me to show you like a complete outfit I wear, then let me know. Just comment below or send me a quick message or anything. So it was nice catching up with you guys. Once again, if you have any questions, email me or comment below. And I will see you next week. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.